This is Sam Legger here representing Team JBS. How are you guys doing? I had an opportunity to go and check out the new film, The End of Oak Street. This is directed by the amazing David Robert Mitchell. If you've not seen the movie called It Follows, there's a sequel coming up called They Follow. But before he gets to that, he gave us this. And the background of it is you got a random 1980s family that are in a suburban neighborhood, and all of a sudden something happens to their neighborhood and they are not where they should be. And not only are they not where they should be, but creatures are roaming around the neighborhood as they should not be. And thus the synopsis of the story. This has got Anne Hathaway, Ewan McGregor, Maisy, Stella, Christian Convery, and they make up the family. I'm going to be very transparent with you guys. This movie, and you've seen the trailers, you understand what I mean by this, is a better Jurassic Park film than any of the last 10 years worth of Jurassic Park films that we've gotten. It is visceral, it is emotional, it is tension building, at times very comical, at times very it takes its time in the atmosphere, and it is very rated R. Very rated R. There are deaths in this that shock me. There are levels of violence and at times terror that I did not anticipate. And like the first Jurassic Park, the reason why it's so engaging is because this is a very fantastical situation where you have people that are just trying to create a park that decide to clone dinosaurs, and you're thrust into a suspension of disbelief, like what would happen in this kind of situation. Up until, honestly, this film, you put yourself in a situation like this, what's going to happen? They do not shy away from that at all. So if you're going into this thinking it's going to be happy-go-lucky, comical because it's in the 1980s, no. This is very, at times, tension building, at times torturous, at times very heavy-weighted emotional. Because the situation is so dire that the characters are allowed time to breathe through their emotions, which I can appreciate when you have somebody like Anne Hathaway, who has been killing it this year, and just giving a very intimate and very personal performance. While at the same time, simultaneously, you got Ewan McGregor just giving a reserved performance, but very hopeful one. And it's so interesting because, onto the purposes, you make comparisons like, no, it fits for how the family dynamic is, where you have Christian and Maisy, they go through their own trek. And at the times in the beginning of the film, I was kind of like, I don't know the significance of them going to be there, but it's very, very weighty. And yet, there are so many fantastical things that are happening where you have prehistoric circumstances happening in a rural suburban neighborhood. And how that's going to play out. You really do see it. You witness it. You can't believe it, for good and bad. There are moments where you're like, whoa, this is beautiful. And then there's other moments where you're like, this is rough. And at times, the first, the second, the third transition at times feels so rough. It is hard emotionally to deal with how things are transpiring, but they're doing a really good job with the pacing. This movie was only an hour and 40 minutes tight, and yet I was never bored. I didn't feel like I was left in a disservice. The other thing is the way that this is written. I just knew that this is based on a book or some older novel. This isn't based on anything. This is a original story, and that's crazy to me. It feels like the way that this was written, it feels like there's a whole background of information that I just don't understand, that I am missing out on. And that's just so well written. Where, again, there are times where the movie, it gets time to breathe and is very, like, tongue-in-cheek, very comical and very beautiful. I think they never go too over the top one way, left or right. It never gets too horrific. It never gets too overwhelming. It never gets too tongue-in-cheek or even pleasant. It lands in this very sweet spot, and that is only because of the way that David directs. And then you got a great score with Michael Giacchino. So if you had doubts about the end of Oak Street, sever them. This is one you should watch all the way to the end. I am very surprised to say that this was a very good time. Easily a B+ to even an A- for me. I'm really impressed by this film. So go and check out The End of Oak Street. You will not be disappointed, I don't think. If you're a science fiction nerd, if you are a mystery nerd, if you're a prehistoric, like all the different things, it's something for everybody. But don't let small children see this. This is not for small children. This is very violent, very raw, and yeah, just be careful. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace, people.
Filing out the top of the I can see the skyline, 50 mile radius on my timeline. Ain't nothing on my mind. Oh Lord.